The topics: inflation, abortion, immigration, January 6th. It took about 40 minutes to get to a question pressing Vice President Harris on the list of changing policies from when she ran for president in 2019. About an hour before foreign policy came up, the first question of the debate: are you better off than you were 4 years ago? Never fully received an answer there. However, Vice President Harris was clearly well prepared, practiced, on the offensive much of the night. Former President Trump did take a lot of the bait that she threw out in some of those answers, but he pointed time and again, as he did there at the end, about what she has or has not done as vice president. The question now is, how much does this move the needle?
Yeah, I mean, it has to be said that she was really never held to the fire. She was not pressed by the moderators on her past positions and how she got from a very progressive, most progressive senator to where she is now. And that falls on ABC. And I think there were moments when it felt like they were helping her out and they were not helping him out. There were times when he didn't pivot as well as he should have to move on to some of the points that he no doubt wanted to make. He went down a few cat and dog holes rather than rabbit holes tonight, which will be discussed, no doubt. I thought the strongest moments were foreign policy, Iran, when he talked about Ukraine, Afghanistan, and that close. Why haven't you done it?
Okay, let's go around the horn. Britt Hume, thoughts?
Well, I thought the single question that needed to be answered tonight was, Madam Vice President, why have you changed your position? Give us your thoughts on why you changed your position, not just on the small handful of issues that were raised by the moderators, but on a range of other issues. There were like 2 questions on the whole thing all evening. She never had to account for her changes. Never.
She said she'd go down the list. She never
did. Now, look, make no mistake about it. Trump had a bad night. He rose to the bait repeatedly when she baited him, something I'm sure his advisors had begged him not to do. In the first debate when Biden attacked him, he just kept his cool and kept going. In this debate, he rose to debating, and we heard so many of the old grievances that we'd long thought that Trump had learned were not winners politically. Mm-hmm. And there they all were, talking about how he didn't lose the election and all that. I mean, my sense is that she came out of this in pretty good shape. Now, how long this will last and is anybody's guess. But for tonight, at least, this was pretty much her night.
You're saying she had a good night?
I'm saying she certainly did.
Sean Hannity is in the spin room. Thoughts on this debate, Sean?
Disagree on other parts of what he said. I think the biggest loser in the debate, and we talked about this pre-debate, is ABC. The fact that we didn't get to fundamental, strong positions that Kamala Harris had taken on very deep and profound issues involving the economy and immigration and ending private health care and defund and dismantle. There was a lot of cliche, a lot of rehearsal that I saw in her performance. Okay, that's fine. That was anticipated. There were a lot of lies that she told about abortion, about Project 2025, about gun confiscation, and that was frustrating on a lot of fronts. I think that the biggest epic fail here is that, we're now 50 days in, and early voting, for example, we're in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania tonight, starts 1 week from tonight, and then it rolls out in all these other swing states that matter. The fact that we don't know if she still supports, free housing, health care, education, and sex change operations for illegal immigrants is unfathomable to me after an hour-and-a-half debate. Does she still support defund, dismantle, no bail laws? Do we have an answer on no fracking and no drilling? She didn't say that in 2000. Even CNN fact-checked her after her 16-minute and 29-second debate. We don't have answers on the economy. Bidenomics being a great success. President Trump, I thought, was effective on the issue of, okay, 3.5 years you've been vice president. Why haven't you gotten these things done? And in many, many ways, that pass that she's gotten has been the greatest disservice, I think, tonight to the American people. That's on ABC Disney. That really shouldn't be the other candidate's job to be challenging them, especially when you have muted microphones. We don't know anything about Kamala Harris, and that's frustrating. I didn't hear you. What?
No, that's it. We were listening to you.
Thank you, Sean.
Thank you, Sean.
Oh, okay.
Let's go to Harold Ford Jr. Harold, your takeaway from tonight.
So I agree with Brett. This what has to be thought of by supporters of Donald Trump and people in that campaign as a disappointment. June 27th, we talked about before, was a different kind of collapse for Joe Biden. In some ways, this has to be thought of as a collapse in some ways. I got reaction from Republican friends. The two common things were train wreck and he needs this to end. These are people who support him and I think will continue to support him. I said about Joe Biden that night that he seemed all over the place. He seemed unprepared and unorganized. I get the sense. I think ABC, the moderators, could have done a better job. But it's almost like if you're in a basketball game and you go up against playing a team that's taller than you, you don't complain at the end of the game. They're taller than us. We knew that before. He's used to people piling on him. He just didn't seem like he was ready. If you're a voter watching tonight, I was reminded of the great Dennis Green, the former coach of the Vikings, who said they are who we thought they were. And Donald Trump tonight was that guy. Two, she conveyed the calm. She conveyed a preparation. Did she answer all the questions about the switches? No. But I would have thought that he would have raised some of those. I know we said, well, should he have to do that? When you're in a fight for what you believe is the fight for the country, in the soul of the country, then you have to be willing to do those things. Finally, she was tenacious on Russia. She had clarity about the future of the country. He was a little too gloomy, I thought. And when asked, I saw around the table, I've never heard Donald Trump not be definitive about a set of plans. He said, I have concepts of a plan. Here we are, 56 days from an election. You've been president before. He's got to recover from this, and we'll see if there's another debate. I hope the two of you are moderating if there is another debate. And if I'm him, I'm asking for one.
Speaking
tomorrow.
of which, senior advisor to the Harris campaign, Brian Fallon, just sending out, that was fun, let's do it again in October. To that point, Fox has officially invited both campaigns to a debate in October. We have sent a formal invitation, as we had before, and we've renewed that specifically for a debate to be hosted on Fox News in October. We hope they take it up.
Seems like the American people would love another opportunity to see these candidates. It's been such a short window, and they deserve as many opportunities as possible. We certainly hope that they will take us up on that.
Jesse, your thoughts?
I don't think the American people are watching and thinking any of these people won. This was rough. This was pretty intense at times. She started off shaky. She regained her footing. But I thought she was going to come out with some of these memorable lines. All the memorable lines were from Donald Trump. Run, spot, rum. Shh, shh, I'm speaking. Does that sound familiar? Wake Joe Biden up at 4 o'clock in the afternoon and go get him to sign this thing to close the border. I took a bullet because you said I was a threat to democracy. And they're eating the pets. You know, you watch this thing, if you're a Democrat, you're like, oh, she did a great job. She was much more forceful than Joe Biden. If you're a Republican, you look at this and you're like, that's Donald Trump. He had some moments where you were like, oh, my God, where are we going with this? And then he just had some great knockouts. And so this race just got tighter.
That's probably true. We're going to see what exactly that looks like. We are just getting started on our analysis, a pivotal night in the 2024 campaign. Our coverage continues right after this very short break.
Stay with us.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.